Michael Wilbon with a unique landing spot for one LeBron James. Given his iconic stature, Wilbon feels our nation's capital would actually be the best fit. Here's an excerpt from the column on the Undefeated. Washington, not Los Angeles, is the most powerful city in the world. Washington, not Houston, is where every significant issue relating to sports, from steroids to chronic traumatic encephalopathy to gambling to paying college athletes, has been and will be addressed on Capitol Hill. Washington, not Philly, is where you apply to the National Park Service to convene a rally to call national attention to gun control, women's rights, or Black Lives Matter. Also, keep in mind Kevin Durant from the D.C. area, fellas, as well. So, Max, should the Wizards want, if they're going to land one of the best in the NBA here, should they want LeBron or KD?
Obviously, the answer is LeBron. If the question is basketball, the answer is LeBron, unless you're talking all time, and then the answer is Michael Jordan. I will tell the story again of Bobby Knight, the great coach, college coach, who called the Portland GM when they had the second pick in the draft. Hakeem went 1 to Houston. He called the Portland GM because he worked with the '84 Olympians and coached Jordan and saw him up close as a collegiate athlete. And he told them, draft Jordan. And the Portland GM said, we already have Drexler. We need a center. And Bobby Knight said, draft Jordan, play him at center. If the question is basketball now, draft LeBron, play him where, at whatever. If you need a point guard or a center or a small forward or a power forward, you want LeBron. If you're in D.C., you're on the moon, you want LeBron. Now, I understand that KD is a great player, that he is from the D.C. area. You still want LeBron James, guys. The argument that Wilbon makes, who is the greatest, love Wilbon, but I'm going to go at this point. The argument that because D.C. is the seat of federal power, James would have a larger platform from which to broadcast social issues or a better vantage point, a better point of leverage to affect change is simply untrue. No way. Guys, I've lived in D.C. for 15 months. You are completely, there's the federal government, but denizens of D.C. don't have greater access to the federal government because of proximity. You don't feel more empowered or closer to the seat of power because you live in D.C. if you don't work in government. Being in D.C. would give LeBron exactly zero added leverage to affect change. So I think that argument fails, and the argument as to who you want is always LeBron James.
Max, I'm sitting here laughing. Let me tell you why I'm laughing, because you mentioned the word denizens, right? And you remember the movie Ali with Will Smith when McKelty Williamson, who's a phenomenal actor, was playing Don King, and he said the denizens are the demagogues, and he started going on. So I just instantly started laughing because that's one of the funniest Don King impersonations that I've ever seen. McKelty was absolutely sensational in that movie. That's why I'm smiling. Let me get to your point. I totally agree with you about Wilbon, about what you were saying about the federal government and in terms of how Wilbon was utilizing that to make D.C. an attractive landing spot for LeBron James. Please, LeBron James doesn't need to be in D.C. to have the kind of impact that he had. And even if he went to D.C., the impact wouldn't change. It would be the same impact that he has now because he's LeBron. Locale isn't applicable when it comes to that particular angle. Having said all of that, if I had a choice to make between the two, and far be it, because I got loved ones in D.C. and what have you, the crew, the fellas, they know who they are. Love y'all. Here's the deal. I'm not rolling with LeBron James for this one. I'm rolling with KD. It's not just because he's the local product. I like the thought of KD. Are you ready for this, Max? I like the thought of KD with Bradley Beal better than I like LeBron with John Wall. That's what I like, because guess what? I'm talking about shot makers. I'm talking about long-range snipers. I'm thinking about a Beal getting more open shots because Kevin Durant is on the floor with him. I'm thinking about Kevin Durant having open shots, damn it, because he's Kevin Durant and he could make shots from anywhere. Now, I understand LeBron has improved. I understand LeBron's phenomenal. I understand the thought of LeBron James with John Wall pushing the ball up the floor would be something special. But we both know how they like to be ball dominant. I think it would be too big of an adjustment. I'm looking at the Washington Wizards right now, and I'm thinking about my loved ones, my families, the crew in D.C. You know who you are. Here's the deal. Otto Porter needs to go. Martin Gortat $13 million. God, he needs to go. Mahinmi, I mean, useless as far as I'm concerned. No
Otto Porter's
disrespect,
good, Stephen A.
but damn it, he's at about $16 million. He needs to go. They don't have any cap space. I'm looking at Ernie Grunfeld, who I love dearly, have known for many years. I'm not satisfied with what I've seen from these boys going home in the first round. John Wall or Bradley Beal have to go. And if I'm Kevin Durant, I would want to be with Bradley Beal. Not to say that he's better than John Wall, because he's not. But I'm thinking about who I could get the most value for and what have you, and how the pair would work best.
Stephen
and
A.
that's what I would want. I would want Kevin Durant before I wanted LeBron James in the nation's capital.
Of course, that's my point.